Hi, welcome to Art Draw. Today I'm going to draw Power Punk from Fortnite OG. So I'm going to do head, upper body shot. It's going to be holding the helmet here, just going down to the torso here. So if I go up to the top, I'm going to do the sort of central part of her head first of all. So let's put a little dot about there. And then what we're going to do is draw the hair curving over this side. So just a couple of lines over there, over that side. Parting's in the middle there, sort of coming down here, and then along there, and then the other side of the hair sort of goes around that way, around this way like this. Okay, that kind of sort of chunks back into the center there, and we've got a fringe element going on here, so it's going to bring the pen down either side, sort of here, and going down here, sort of the edges of the fringe going on. And draw that sort of chunky fringe in there, so just wiggle the pen up and down a bit, just sort of give an idea of the hair sort of coming, cascading down in front of the character. Then what we can do as well, just sort of draw in a couple of like little swooshes down, sort of showing the hair coming around there. And also sort of coming out this way, this way, so the hair sort of coming out either side gives that impression. Let's just look at where, and I think the chin's about here, so the rest of the hair sort of comes down sort of this way. There's a longer piece coming down here, and then an even longer piece sort of comes down this way like that, and then sort of chunks up to that midpoint up here. On this side, we've got a long piece of hair. Again, actually, I think there's a shorter piece just coming down around there. Then we've got a longer piece that comes out from behind that, just bring your pen down and sort of chunk it back up like that. So we've got that hair either side of there. Okay, let's tackle the face now. So as I say before, the chin's around here, so we're going to draw a little bit of jawline to chin and back up to the cheek area. So from that point there where we've got that little bit of hair coming down, I'm going to just draw in a nice chin area there, and then come back up, I suppose like up this way, sort of coming up like that to a cheek area up there. Okay, just join that element up there. Now I've got that in, what I can do is draw the facial features. So right at the top here, there's a little hint of eyebrow either side, so just go in, just sort of draw in a little black line either side of the face there. I've got those eyebrow elements. Now I've got that, I'm going to come down here. Just going to draw a nose. So I've got the end of the nose around there. Just a little dink in like that, and then just come out a little bit. I've just got the nostrils there. Bridge of the nose sort of coming up that way, so just a little hint of that there. And now I've got the nose, I'm going to tackle the lips. So a little sort of smirky smile on her face. So I'm going to start over on the right. And what I'm going to do, just get my pen, just draw the lip areas in. Smile coming up there, and come down this way, back up, and then I'm just going to do the inside of the lips there, a little smile like topping up over that way. Okay, now I've done that, let's go tackle the eyes. So the right eye over here, got the bridge of the nose there, so the eyes are quite wide, so I'm going to start about there, and what I'm going to do, just bring my pen out like that, and then underneath, I'm going to start from that same point, come outwards, tackle it around like that, and what I'm going to do is just sort of add those little deeper parts of mascara on the end of the eyes there. There's big sort of circular elements in there, so I'm going to draw a big old circle and then just pop a little pupil in there, just leave a little dink of white in there. On this side, I'll leave a gap that's sort of similar size to the size of the eye, and what I'm going to do here is just bring my pen up and out like that, and under here just bring the pen out around there, and then what I can do again is just bring those little mascara elements around there, like that. Again, there's a big old eye, so kind of comes around this way, like that. And then a pupil in the middle, so we'll try and keep a little dink of light in there as well. There we go, not too bad. Okay, got those bits in. Got the bunches of the hair to draw next, so what we've got in the middle of it is almost like a cylindrical element there. There's little sort of sharp objects sort of kicking out from it. There's another one coming out here, and say one in the middle there. And then what we can do is just flare out the hair. So I've got a big bit of hair coming here, another one coming up this way, and a larger one sort of coming up, kicking out there, back in, and then from here we've got another sort of element as well. So they're just gonna draw some little lines in those going around like that, so it just gives it a nice bit of shape to our picture. On this side it's kind of hidden a bit more. There's a little hint of a little sharp element there, like that, and then maybe there's another little bit sort of kicking out here, just there, and then I've got the hair sort of kicking back here, so just gonna sort of draw upwards, some nice little bits kind of kicking out all along there, and another little bit sort of kicking there, and then again we'll just sort of draw in a few little wavy little lines, just give it a bit of sort of like dynamic kind of look. Okay, let's go down, draw the rest of the body. So the neck kind of comes from here. I'm going to draw a line down this way, and then a line probably in about here, like that. Now, character's got a choker on, so I'm going to draw a nice curve along here, cap it off a little bit at the end here, and what I'm going to do is just draw in again these little sort of sharp elements coming out, coming outwards, one there, one in the middle here, one coming out about there, and then we're just going to round it off around like that, and then cap off these little things, give them a little bit of a rounded element. Okay, that's cool. Now I've got those in, I can start doing the jacket element. So the jacket, the shoulder blades are coming this way. I'm gonna just come out with the collar first of all, like that. And on this side, I'm gonna have the collar coming out like this. And that lets me now come out from there and draw a nice shoulder element, come down. And from here, sort of go a little bit higher and go out to about here. It kind of kicks up in the air, and then it kind of comes down to an elbow point about here. Cool. Okay, let's just continue the collar. So I'm going to draw the jacket collar just coming down this way. So from sort of this point here, I'm going to bring my pen down this side here, come down there, kick it out and up. Then what I can do is also just draw the other element of the collar. So about that point, bring your pen out and then curve it in and down to the bottom element there. On this side, I'm going to come down here. So what I'm going to do is grab my pen there, just come down sort of the shape of the body to about here. Then I'm going to come in probably to about that point. I've got the helmet kind of going to fill out this area here. Then I'm going to just draw my pen back up, kick it out there where the collar is, and then just join those points up there. Right, there's a t-shirt element in here, so all I need to do is about this point, just do a nice curve there. It's a crop top the character's wearing, so just going to do a line here to join up. Now I've got those bits. The torso comes down here, but I think it's quite important to start just getting some of this helmet in. So from about, say here, we've got a line on the jacket coming down. Then what I've got is a few of these sharp elements on the helmet. I've got 1, 2, 3 like that. Just cap them off like this. And then what I can do is just draw in a nice curve coming downwards, sort of this way here. And then there's actually a little point that comes out around like that. And then in here I've got curve around, probably comes in around like that, comes back up here, and then I think at this point this sort of joins up, so I'm gonna get my pen, just get a nice curve here and then a nice curved element coming around there, kind of just draw around that again, start getting this helmet in. Okay, this part here curves around this element, so it goes where the arm is here. We've got a nice sort of curve coming around there. Again, we've got these sharp little points, so I've got one here, just come down there, a little one at the front here, and another one at the back there. And there's actually another little one just coming up here. And what I can do is just sort of do a nice circular point around there, and then we'll bring the pen down to about here. So we've got the helmet element and the visor going on. It's just a little blocked element there, and actually that does come round at the bottom here. And then we've got this other sort of ear part here, so I'm gonna come up round here. There's actually almost like a little antenna going up here, so I'm just gonna pop a little antenna line in there. Then I'm going to do like a very acute oval, bring it in, let's just draw another little point there, and that goes into the visor element there like this one. And then we've got the arm coming round, so the arm now comes round here with the jacket. There's a little cuff of the jacket here. Then the arm comes down here, there's a little sort of bracelet and another little kind of band here. It can be quite loose at this point on the edge to here. And then we've got the glove. So I've got a tiny bit of hand, go to there, and then there's fingerless gloves on this skin. So just come down here where the thumb is, and then we can come down here, sort of the fingers down there, up, and then the other fingers sort of hide behind there, like that. And then we can just bring the glove element up here, maybe just cap it. The fingerless glove, so just can draw nice curves around it here. Pop a couple of nails in. There's almost like a little bit of rectangular detail there as well. There we go. Just at the bottom here, I've got the lower element of the helmet now, so what I can do is just sort of come down here like this, and then just curve my pen around there, draw one in the middle there, like that. And then we've got just a bit of sort of detail, we can just sort of draw in a few additional points there. There we go. Right, just on this side, I've got the arm going up, so I've drawn the jacket element, just to draw like the outer part of the jacket just flowing down here. And then I've got the hand coming up this way, so what I'm going to do here is just draw a nice circular element there. That's like the cuff of the jacket. And I cap it off with a little button there. And then I can just bring my pen down here. The jacket comes down to an elbow, sort of ruffled up around here. Just drawing a few little squiggly lines there. Then I've got the arm coming up, so I've got one line probably coming up, yeah, about there. One coming up here. And then I can draw a cool hand with the fingerless glove here. So there's a little cuff area there. And then I'm going to go on the inside here. I'm going to bring my pen up like this. There's a wrist area and the palm of the hand going up here to a finger there. Then I've got 1, 2 fingers there. And then I can come up here, got the other finger coming around there and down like that. Just draw a couple of nails in there, and then a fingerless glove like that. Maybe just a hint of the thumb area there. Little rectangle point just in there as well. Then I just need a little hint of the torso. So just from this point of the jacket at the edge, I'm just going to just do a little line there. Little belly button going on there. And just got a hint of a belt going on as well. So just draw a couple of lines in like this. A couple of little buckle bits. I've got the strap of the belt here. The main belt sort of going around, sort of chunking around there. Sort of see a bit of the trouser there. And then the rest of the belt sort of goes up into that helmet area. And then there's just a hint of the other one coming down here, and we can just taper it off. Same with the trousers here, just taper it down around here. So we've got a few these little bits on the belt, these little pointy bits again, kind of just tapers off down this point. So just a nice little hint of the belt and what's going to happen and go on down there. Now I've done that, just add a little bit of detail. There's a little bit of a necklace, like a skull and crossbones here, so just going to give a little hint of that going on here. Little hint of necklace band there. Same in here, there's another little kind of necklace going on there, so a few little circles will do the job there. Going to go around the edge of the collar. Like that, and then there's a few little sort of studs going on around the edge, so I'm just gonna sort of pop in a few little studs around here, same here as well. Just a nice little hint of those, I think is good. And here as well, just adds that nice bit of texture. There's loads of little badges and things going on the jacket, so I'm just gonna, again, just be quite loose, just draw a few little ideas of that, maybe a couple of little lines on the jacket coming down around here. Same on this top of the jacket, there's some just a few little lines there and little badges going on. Just going to give a hint of that because there's a lot going on this piece of clothing. Then on the helmet, just have some little sort of light bouncing off it. It's a little bit extra sort of detail points just kicking off it. The light's bouncing off here, so it's quite nice. Just draw a couple of little circles in there. Maybe just like a little ripple coming around that way. And then the belt, yeah, let's just draw a couple of little lines in along there. Just sort of cap it off a bit. A few little stud points going on there. We've got little points there, and I think just cap the jacket off there as well. A few little bits of detail, maybe the light sort of bouncing off it a bit on those edges. Come around here, just a few little points of detail. Maybe these little rectangular bits actually we can just fill in black. There's not many sort of points to ink on this picture, is there? Around there. And just like a hint of a little strawberry going on the jacket. So just be really loose with the way you're drawing it. It's just a little hint that there's something going on in the t-shirt. And what I might do is just get a slightly thicker pen and just sort of fill in that t-shirt element so it's a little bit darker. It'd be quite nice. Like I say, there's not much sort of ink on this one, so it's quite nice just to block in some of those darker areas around there. And what I might do is just kick it around the edge. Just use the thicker pen to just block the picture in a bit. Fill in some of these lines so you've got a nice difference between the detailed areas. Let's just be careful as I go around here. The thumb element. Yeah, in the jacket there, maybe we can just colour that point in. Bring it around here, just fill those edges in, just that little bit. Just be careful on the face, maybe just around some of the hair points. I can just fill it in a bit and then just get around the edge of the jacket there. Yeah, so it starts to come together a bit now. It's looking pretty good. Not bad for the Power Punk. Now this helmet, I feel like it's a darker bit down the bottom, but I'm a little bit loath to draw that. I might just do a few little lines in, just to give the hint that the bottom part is a bit darker. Yeah, that works. Come around here, so all these edges are kind of filled in as well. Come around the edge there. This top part as well, I'm gonna just go around the edge there. There we go. Antenna bit can be filled in. Yeah, so it just stands out just a bit more. There we go, that is Power Punk from Fortnite OG. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know who else I can be drawing from Fortnite or anything, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.